What just happened? I'm Dan. That's Backface. And today we're here to talk Bad Monkey, episode 5. That damn arm is back. The shortest episode title of the series so far. So, yeah.
Good title too.
Yeah, it is. And it makes sense. It comes back into play. Real quick before we get into it, we're doing a giveaway. Once we hit 5,000 subscribers, we're very close. We're going to give away $75 on Venmo, and you can have half off on anything you want in the merch store. So let's get into the recap, shall we? Another great episode. This show is really good. I wish more people were watching it. I feel like there's not enough people watching this show.
Yeah, it's peak Vince Vaughn. It's like as good as Apple TV gets for one of the shows that they have. And I know it's adapted from a book. I haven't read the book, but let us know in the comments below how close the adaptation is, because it feels like it is pretty close to the book, unless they're just really, really good writers on this show. But it feels like they're pulling from some really good base content.
Yeah, it definitely does, because every episode's great. I mean, starting with the third episode being such a banger, and then the fourth being so good, and now this one, I feel like they pulled back a little bit, but it was an important episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it kind of felt like a mid-season, like they're ramping. It's like a lull before they ramp back up. They set up a whole lot in this episode again, which is nice. Chef's kiss.
We're at the midway point. We got 5 episodes left. So yeah, it's a great time to theorize below. Anything you guys want to talk about, you can join our Discord. We're doing a special. You can join for $1 if you hit that join button. Hop in the Discord, talk about any show that we're covering. We're going to be covering a lot. We'll talk about that in the end of the video. But yeah, let's talk about this episode. So starts off with, I'm going to call him Nick, because that's what the narrator was going with this episode. So I'm going to go with Nick. I'm going to ditch Christopher for now. Nick is dragging Yancey down the dock. He pushes him into water. He thinks he killed him, and he's setting it up to look like it was, an accident, doing his thing. And he thinks he's killed 3 people by this point. He's just totally comfortable killing people. And that's what the narrator was saying. It gets easier and easier as you go.
He's more dissociative than anything. It doesn't look like he's enjoying it or that it's easy. He's kind of just like, well, this is what I got to do now. It's like taking out the trash kind of thing.
Yeah. The Izzy one hurt him a lot because that was his best friend.
Yeah, definitely.
But this one, it was like, all right, this guy's really fucking with my wife. He's calling my daughter. I got to take care of him. But he didn't. He thought he did. But Eve says,
well, I'll say it. I'm glad that fucker's dead. I'm so proud of you.
And hey, I'm going to make the coffee today. I'm going to take care of you all day. And then she gives him 3 things to do immediately after that.
I love he's just got one arm. She's like, yeah, can you pack all the boxes?
Also, can you finish packing up these boxes?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like right after she's like, I'm going to take care of you all day. Yeah. So, and then he realizes he doesn't have his phone on him, and it's at Yancey's house.
Oh, shit.
So like, oh shit type of moment. And I think he knew at this point, but he didn't want to accept it at this point. But it's like, it's probably at Yancey's house. So yeah, that comes into play. And then Evan, he's meeting up with new potential clients, and it looks like it's going well, but Yancey's inside
house. Oh, come on.
With blood on him. He's soaking wet, and he does his thing.
No pants.
No pants.
Where are your pants?
He gives the guy a hug. He's like, "Oh, you smell nice. I like your smell. Let's do this. I can get used to this. Let's make this an everyday thing."
I could use a hit of this every day. It smells great. It's natural.
Does his thing and scares off another. Is that house ever going to get sold in this series?
There's
I
no
don't
way.
think so. Yeah, no shot. I could see it getting knocked down before it gets sold at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
He does his thing, and he then threatens Evan. He's like, yo, if I see another hurt animal on your property, I'm going to do that to you. He's like, are you threatening me? He's like, yeah.
Oh, man, the line he gives is so good, too. And he's like, what does he say?
And if it wasn't clear, it's just because I wasn't doing it well enough.
It's funny because Vince Vaughn is so relaxed and calm and comedic, but then he has this aura. He's just so large. You're like, wow, if you wanted to slap a dude, you'd definitely slap a dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's weird badass energy. It's good.
Yeah, he is. All right, but then he sees that the phone's ringing, and it's Eve calling, and he sees the background. He sees it's Nick, and he's like, I'm right. Christopher is Nick. Eve's in on it. I'm right all along. I'm so excited. So who does he go to see? He goes to see Rosa, and he's like, this is exciting. Nick is alive. We have his cell phone. This is all a good thing. And she's like, yo, you got a concussion. You need to kind of chill out a little bit. And then he's like, all right, let me go to the bathroom. Goes to the bathroom. Mendez walks in. So this motherfucker has an APB out for murder. They're trying to pin Izzy's murder on Yancey because the neighbor spotted Yancey walking away. That's what he's doing. That's what Mendez is doing. You know, Mendez hates his guts. So that's his whole thing. He's trying to get him put in jail for murder. when he clearly didn't do it. So where's that
Yeah.
storyline going to go? I'm so confused with that storyline.
I feel like it's going to culminate with Mendez being fired. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's probably still a dirty cop, you know?
Yeah, there's no way he got clean. There's no way.
Shot.
Yeah.
You know, meanwhile, Egg is looking for Neville. Dragon Queen's like, if I knew where he was, why would I even tell you? He's paying me, you're not paying me. So why would I help you?
She paying me, not you.
And I love her. She's cool. You know, she pushed his boat into the water, which helps him later on. So she's really cool. I like her and Yaya. I like their scenes together. And I wonder if that black magic's ever going to pay off.
I loved how Yaya's like, we need to push this boat out. And I think the narrator says something along the lines of like, Dragon Queen doesn't even know why. She just kind of does what Yaya says.
Now help me get this boat in the water. Young Neville could use a little help.
And then it ends up being the right thing to do, which is
right. Yeah.
I love the subtle hints of that magic is real in this show because it's such a grounded show, like just a kind of comedic noir almost detective show, but then it's just got like a sprinkle of no magic is real. It's just but they do it so well. It's so good.
They do. Yeah, they really pull it off. So it's great. So then we see Rosa and her plan to get Yancey out of this police station is to cart him away as a dead body. So while she's doing that, his phone and I love this too. His ringer is so distinct. It's da 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 da.
Dude, seriously?
It's like we've heard it so many times throughout this whole season, and now it's playing in a moment where you can't, like, you're supposed to be a dead body, dude. That's playing. It's Ro calling. Ro's like, yo, there's an APB out. What the hell, dude? He's like, I love that you're concerned. We'll talk later. So, dude, I don't know, man. I'm kind of turned around on Ro. What about you? I think
I'm turned around
cool.
on Ro. Yeah,
he's cool now, right?
Yeah, he's definitely working for the good side on this now.
Yeah, I think so. And then Mendez, the dickhead of the show, well, there's multiple, but he's one of them. He gets in the elevator. He's like, why even messing with Yancey? If you like cops, there's better options out there. He like leans in all creepy. And she's like, I'd rather fuck the dead body. She's like, do you want to see? He doesn't even have a face. And first he's like, no. But then he's like, that's kind of a big body.
I think I will have a look.
It's really not.
Thinking it's Yancey, and he's right. But Yancey headbutts the shit out of him and knocks him out. So that's what happens with that. And then he calls Ro and he's like, yo, can we go to your house? And he's like, dude, no. And then Ro's husband gets on the phone and is like, yo, we're working out. When you need me, he's a lawyer. When you need me, call me.
Yeah.
They kind of, you know, they know that he's wanted for murder. So I guess they might think it's true. I think Ro knows it's not possible.
Yeah. Ro definitely knows it's not possible.
Yeah. But, you know, it doesn't matter because Rosa's already driving them to her parents' house. So they have somewhere to go. Egg still looking for Neville. He finds the house that he's in. He's in Donnie's house, but he doesn't get in because she's really good with turning him away. But then he has a thumb drive.
You find anything?
Found everything.
With all this dirt on Nick, on Christopher, that he calls him, right? He's got all this dirt. And he wants to give it to someone that can take him down.
It was all there on the stolen flash drive. Offshore accounts, forged deeds, even itemized bribes to local officials.
So he calls a friend that he thinks is a friend. That's not really a friend. That comes back to play later. We'll talk about it in a second. Over to Bonnie. She's laying out on a beach, and we see Agent Russell talking to her husband. You got to help me out here. Tell me where she is, type of vibe. And what does he do? He cuts her off. Cuts off the credit card, shuts that down. So she has to run away from this resort she's staying at. Gets in the car, drives to Yancey's, and then we see the Yukon pull out front, which I just have to say right now, you called that shit weeks ago, bro.
Which is crazy.
Weeks ago.
I can't believe I bang on called that like a character that doesn't even exist in the show yet. I was like, it's probably this dude.
Yeah. Totally called it. We'll talk about it when that scene comes up. But yeah, go back and watch our prior Bad Monkey videos. He called that like just on a whim. Just like, it's probably this guy. It turns out to be true. Rose's family are celebrating Rose's sister promotion to be the weather girl. And Yancey's like, sorry about Heather with the weather. She's like, she was a bitch. Don't worry about it. He's like, well, two things can be true. She was good at her job and she was a bitch.
Sorry about Heather with the weather. She was an icon.
She was a bitch.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yancey asked the younger brother to crack the code of the phone. He's like, just Gen Z that shit. And then the dad grabs it, but then the brother ends up trying to help out. So then Neville meets up with Chloe, the person that he thinks he can trust. And Donnie was like, she doesn't forgive you, bro.
She forgave me.
I'm telling you she didn't.
You shouldn't trust this person. And at this point, do you think he's being led to a good place or a bad place? Because I wasn't sure.
It felt like a not good place. It still caught me off guard what happened because they did it really quick. I thought they'd like get him in a room and then mess with him. But also great actress that's in For All Mankind. And it took me a very long time to figure out where that actress is from. And she plays
Chloe?
a very, very different character. Yeah, Chloe.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
So she walks him down. She's like, yeah, you might want to toss me that flash drive. My boss is kind of bad with these things. You trust her. And then she tosses it over to Egg. Motherfucker, man. Just for a pair of shoes, she sold him out.
Thanks for the shoes.
God damn it. I was so upset. I'm like, he had something that could bring down Nick/Christopher. He had it. And if he was just a little more patient and didn't trust the first person he thought of, he could have actually done it. He could have flown to Miami.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
Just by how chill he is with Donnie when they're escaping afterwards and the thumb drive is gone, they definitely made a copy. They for sure made a copy. Donnie probably made him make a copy.
Join our Discord to see my show notes, because in my show notes, I'm like, yeah. So he runs away from Egg. He climbs down the tree. He gets on the scooter with Donnie. His boat was right there. He gets away, but they lost the drive. Sad face. I have a sad face. So you think they copied it?
Definitely. Well, yeah, just when he gets on the bike and she's like, admit it. He's like, what? She's like, admit it.
Fine. She didn't forgive me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think beforehand she was like, she didn't forgive you. We got to make a copy of this shit because she's going to fuck you up. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm down with that. I hope so, because he did seem chill, and that would be like something that would really make you sad to lose something like that.
You'd think, right?
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, and Neville seems to be a really level-headed character that just wants his land back.
Yeah.
So I think he would have been way more distraught if he did lose the only copy. So yeah, I think you're right. But he still has Egg searching for him, and Egg's a dangerous motherfucker. So
he's scary, man.
I'd like to say this was just business, but I'd be lying. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Good voice.
He's scary.
When he's singing earlier in the episode, good voice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But he's got to be careful, man. Egg would kill him. Egg would straight up
definitely,
kill him.
yeah.
Because he's getting paid handsomely from Christopher Nick. Sonny fucks over Roe by tricking him into saying that Yancey called him, and he was like, dude, if you don't sit your ass down right now, tell me where he's at, tell me everything you know, you're gonna get fired, motherfucker. Do you think Sonny's dirty?
Yeah.
The chief?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he's involved in everything. I don't think he knows what's going on, but I think he's just being paid off to just kind of look the other way.
All right. By Mendez or by Nick?
Probably by Nick.
All right. Yeah, because he was like the one that really wanted the arm to go away. He was the one who told Roe to get rid of it. So
yeah.
And he first tried to ship it to Miami in the first episode to make it not his problem. So yeah, I could see that coming into play. That's where Roe's at. That's the last time we see him in this episode, but he doesn't really know anything. He just knows that he called him and that he's okay. That's really all he knows.
I feel like Yancey probably did that on purpose, knowing that he'd get called in, and like if they looked at his phone records, he just didn't tell him anything on purpose.
Yeah, that's true. Turns out, well, last time we saw Yancey, he was talking to Rosa's mother, and she doesn't seem to like him that much. And Rosa goes upstairs to make some sexy time, and he's gone. He left. And she's like, what the fuck? Where did he go? She talks to her brother. He's like, no, I didn't crack the phone, but it has Touch ID. And then it clicks in her head. I know where he went. And then he's digging up the arm. Episode title makes sense. Perfect episode title in that sense,
man,
you know.
So good.
So now we see Caitlin for the first time this episode. Nick and Eve go to see her. They're planning on leaving the U.S. for good. They're planning on not coming back ever at this point. So they go to check up on Caitlin. And they're like, yo, did you tell your dumbass fiance that your father's alive? She says no at first. Eve's like, she's lying. She's like, okay.
I promise you won't tell anybody.
But like Eve's like, see this bullshit? This is what I'm talking about. She makes Nick leave the room. And then she really gets into it with her, like, yo.
Your dad's dead. Your job's very important, and it's to stay here and play the role of the grieving daughter.
You're spending all this money. You can't go to the Bahamas with us. You got to stay put, play your part, and stop fucking this up. And I guess in Eve's point of view, she's right in this moment, but she's still a bitch. She's still a total bitch.
I have a theory. Eve is going to get someone to kill her behind Nick's back. Yeah.
Ooh,
and that'll be like the split of Eve and Nick.
Yeah, that would be it. That would be it. Because right there, she threatens to kill her.
Anyone messes with my world, and I have no problem putting them in the fucking ground.
And then Caitlin's like, hey, Dad. He walked back in the room at this point. He's like, you cool with her saying that to me?
You okay with her threatening me like that?
And he like looks down. He's like,
Eve just wants what's best for us, for all of us.
So then she's like, yeah, get the fuck out. And then she even says, go fuck yourself, dad. Like, basically, she threatened to kill me and you didn't have my back. What the fuck? So I think if that happens, if you're right, that will be the point that Nick's done with Eve.
Yeah.
For sure. Because he'll put it together. He'll know that she did it. Who
Yeah,
else would kill
I feel
Caitlyn?
like
Why
they'll
would they
burn
do
down
it?
their house or something to get rid of the husband and her at the same time.
The fiance is definitely dead. He's getting killed.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He's getting hit because he knows, so he's done. He'll probably die next episode. So yeah, time's up for him. Yancey's digging up the arm as Rosa shows up, and she's like, "It's not gonna work." He's like, "It's gonna work," and then he does it, and it works. He's like, "I don't want to say I told you so," but they can't celebrate for too long because the security guard for the cemetery shows up, and all these security guards being good at their job. Remember the other guy spotting the car and calling the feds? Now this guy, he sees them grave digging and calls the cops. And Vince Vaughn, he was like, "Did you call the cops?" "Oh, I got my answer." The cops are like going there, and then he's like, "Hey, we're just gonna leave." And the security guard's like, "Stop, stop." He's like, "No, we're just gonna leave, bud." So that's wild. He's concerned. He's like, "Rosa, this is really bad for you. I dragged you into all this shit. I feel so." She stops him, kisses him. Like, "I'll tell you when it's too much," type of things. Like, she's all in at this point.
I'll tell you when I'm done with you.
I'm guessing Miami PD is going to be looking into her because they know that she's helping Yancey now. So she's probably screwed until they reveal the truth of everything, that Yancey's actually on the right side of things and she did a good thing. But for now, she's going to have to not go back to work and just stick with Yancey until they solve this case. You think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was a good moment to kind of split her off from the life that she's been avoiding kind of permanently for the rest of the season. Yeah.
And it makes more sense. All this going back and forth from the Keys to Miami. Now she's going to be with Yancey, and I hope they go to the Bahamas next episode. We're talking about that in just a second. So over to Bonnie. This is what Bagface predicted correctly. The mystery man in the Yukon was the kid that Bonnie / Plover fucked, the high school kid.
Hey, Miss Chase. I mean, Plover.
Odie?
How did you guess that, dude?
I just literally thought of the funniest situation for a person that's trying to run over Vince Vaughn. I was like, it could be something serious, but it feels like it's not serious. And who would be the funniest person to be behind that wheel other than the kid that like slept with his girlfriend that is like, "I'm gonna get you. You took my teacher,
you took my
girlfriend from me."
Yeah.
Which is like,
so yeah, you nailed that, dude. That's
so good.
Clap it up for Bagface in the comment section, man. Great job. So yeah, that was that. We'll see what they do next week, I'm guessing, because that's the last we see of them. And then Rosa and Yancey get a text.
Wheels up at 7:30, boss, with 3 exclamation points. I mean, that feels unnecessary, right?
Oh my God.
And Yancey's like, "Yo, they're leaving the country and they're not coming back." And he's right. Rosa gets the pilot to tell them where the airport is by asking for coffee recommendations, which was smart. Instead of just being like, "What airport again?" Because that's a little suspicious. The coffee thing worked. So point for Rosa. They're going to head over there. Nick and Eve are already at the airport. The pilot asked for his coffee, which I thought would have been a sign to them that, oh, someone messaged him, but they didn't get that at all.
I think maybe Nick was feeling it in the moment.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to say anything to Eve because he doesn't want her to know that Yancey's still alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's definitely the case because he's running for the plane. Obviously, he's not going to catch up with the plane. But then while he's running for the plane, Nick pops champagne so she doesn't look out the window.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to get her to not look out the window. But then he calls from Nick's phone.
Are you calling me?
Don't answer it.
She answers.
He said you were dead, and you don't sound very dead.
So it's like, all right, now it's on. I'll see you soon. So that's where we're at.
What a good line to end the episode on, man. Just that I'll see you soon. Just hangs up.
Yeah.
I'll see you soon.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it was great, man. I love this show. I really do. And like people out there, if you're watching this video, if you've watched for this entire length, thank you so much, first of all. And tell people to watch it. Go to work. Be like, yo, check out Bad Monkey. It's not getting the recognition it deserves. I hear no one talking about it on Twitter. I hear nothing. So like, let's spread the word a little bit. Let's get it out there. We got 5 more weeks to spread the word. People can catch up. People can binge.
It's a bingeable show too.
It's easy. We might have Billy on next week for episode 6 if he catches up in time. And I think he will, because once you start this show, it's pretty easy to keep going because it's a great show. So
I feel like they're kind of in a weird spot where if someone just told me, watch this show, it's like Vince Vaughn as a detective and it's called Bad Monkey, I'd be like, what? You know?
How do you sell it then? What's your pitch?
How do you sell this show without kind of spoiling a whole bunch of it? You kind of just got to be like, it's really good. Just go check it out. Yeah.
You gotta do that type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually did that yesterday at work. Shout out Dawn if you're watching this. She watches a lot of our videos, and I told her, I was like, Bad Monkey, get on it, watch it. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But then I also told her which we're gonna be covering from September 22nd that comes out.
So
we're gonna be covering The Penguin September 12th that comes out. We're doing Only Murders in the Building. We're doing Rings of Power. We got a bunch of shit coming your way. And then after that, Yellow Jackets, Silo, Severance. So hit that subscribe button if you like us. If you like us, hit that like, hit that subscribe, help us out a little bit. Try to get the Scene Invader brand word out there a little bit because we're going for it, baby. We're covering everything this year. That's my pitch for us. Did that work?
Hell yeah.
You? I sold you.
Oh,
okay.
Man. This winter is going to be the best time to sit inside and watch a ton of good shows and then watch us talk about a ton of good shows.
Yeah.
Hell
Damn
yeah.
Right. And you might win $75. Hit subscribe, comment, engage, and you got a good chance to win. But that's it for this week. We'll see you next week. We'll see you tomorrow if you're a Rings of Power fan, or Friday if that video comes out Friday, most likely. But yeah, Rings of Power coming out soon. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Later.
Peace.
I love everything you're doing. Thank you. Enjoy the place. I love it here.
What just happened?
What just happened?
What just happened?
What just happened? That just happened.